The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
All right, Metaverse maker Enjin raising $100 million for a fund to create a decentralized, interoperable metaverse called Efinity on Polkadot. All right, joining us now is Witek Radomski, CTO of Enjin. Hello there, Witek. Thanks for joining us. So what makes this metaverse different from, say, Decentraland, the Sandbox, and all the other decentralized metaverses out there right now?
So what we're trying to do is not build a single virtual world. We think that the metaverse will consist of a large decentralized component across many blockchains, as well as some centralized aspects like Meta, for example. So we're trying to build the highway that lets any NFTs interoperate on any chain.
Welcome. So just a quick question about the metaverse in general. I mean, if we're being honest here, most of the metaverse is not really ready for prime time, right? I mean, there's a lot of problems with the hardware. When you're going to VR, there's a lot of glitches, technology issues. And then, even on desktop, there's all sorts of, it's just not very advanced. First of all, would you agree with that statement? And second, when do you think it will really be a comfortable user experience?
No, I totally agree with that statement on so many fronts. I see the metaverse not as like a VR world. I see it as the merging of the physical world, our mobile devices, VR, games, businesses online, all kinds of digital aspects. Basically, you have an identity in the digital universe already. And you need to have assets. You want your assets and your identity to persist through time in that world. So whether it's in a VR world or in a VR or in a video game, a mobile game, or in just in a physical space, we want that user experience to be simple. And ever since I first tried Bitcoin about 10 years ago, I knew that the user experience was really bad. And even today, it's been kind of open source, kind of all kinds of plugins and things people have to install, wallets they have to set up. What we're trying to do at Efinity is make it super easy for the end user. So if you want to just play a game, you want to start playing a game, get your NFTs, you don't even know you're using crypto. That's the goal of Efinity. And same thing for people who are building on it. If you're building a game, you don't really want to hire a huge blockchain team to build the blockchain component. We're trying to make that super easy for anyone building on blockchain to just slot NFTs into their game, into their business, gamify the whole experience, make it super simple.
All right. We got it. All right. You're on mute, Lawrence.
Sorry about that. So $100 million, it's a lot of money to spend and to take in. How are you allocating the total amount? What percentages are going to what?
Yeah, so we actually have a launch pad called Enjin Starter, which we've invested in, and they're going to be picking a lot of different projects, whether it's games or actual equity investments in projects. We're also making direct investments with that 100 million. So we're focusing on games because that's what we've been working with for about 13 years at Enjin, and so any game that wants to do something innovative, exciting, has real utility. We're not really focused on too much of the, kind of casino-like games. We're looking at real games that people would love to play, mainstream games, 3D games, things like that. So we're trying to build an interesting, unique metaverse, and that's, needs some investment.
So, you mentioned games, and of course, gaming is a huge component in a lot of what's going on in the metaverse. But there's so much of the world's population, so much of the United States population that not made up of gamers. So how do you attract them into this new reality, into this new world? What do you think is going to bring them over?
I see a lot of actual physical brands like fashion brands, sports teams, sports leagues, being very interested in the metaverse right now. We're talking to many of them, and they want people to actually have that experience where, let's say you go to a sports game, you get a collectible at the venue, or you buy a piece of fashion and then you can use it on your social media or in some sort of virtual world. I think people are going to start expecting that as the years move on. And many brands will offer some sort of gamification in the form of NFTs.
Witek, what do you think of Meta, or formerly Facebook's, entry into the metaverse, and why would people who already are using Facebook and have been using it for years want to transfer and go over onto your metaverse?
Meta is, I think, it shines a light on the metaverse. It says, Facebook considers this extremely important and relevant, and we think that they're going to form a piece of this sort of centralized metaverse, but I see that they're doing the right thing. They want to be fully interoperable as well. So Enjin and Efinity, we want to support both the centralized metaverses and the decentralized, all different chains. I think they'll all coexist. There's uses for all of them. We all probably use Facebook in some way or another, or one of their ecosystems. So games will exist. I mean, they have their Oculus platform. I think that's going to be updated pretty soon as well. That'll be a really significant player in the metaverse, and I'm really glad that they're doing it, actually.